Alright, hey guys. I just got back from my cousin's 85th birthday party. There's like so many people. It was like a 10 course dinner, and my god, that was so much food. And then there was like a 20-minute lion dance before everything, and the lion like threw lettuce at her, and she didn't even she was just sitting in the chair. She didn't even flinch. The lion just threw lettuce at her. So that got a good laugh out of me. That was a little silly looking. Anyways, yeah, I believe she is my popo's older brother's husband's wife. Yeah, yeah. Does that make sense? Anyways, my thoughts on being mixed race. I'm mostly Chinese, and I am some sort of Caucasian. I think I took a DNA test, and it was I don't know what kind of white I am. I think it's like British and uh, German. So like sort of if you go back in time, like the barbarian kind of white people. And I'm also Hawaiian. I know that my skin color doesn't look like it, but I am. And there's a lot of other stuff that came up on that test, but that's kind of like the basic breakdown. And I got that like 9 years ago. Anyways, I don't really see myself as like one race or like one ethnicity. Like, I don't really group myself into like categories or whatever, because I just look in the mirror, and I just see myself. I'm not like, you know, just one thing or whatever. I'm just like a whole bunch of stuff. And even though I was growing up in Hawaii, there's a lot of mixed kids, right? But I think there's an element of wanting to sort of fit in with everybody. Um, so it's like, okay, if I'm with white people, then I'm Asian. But if I'm with Asian people, then I'm white. That's kind of how I felt growing up. So I think I've just reached that point where I'm like, yeah, I'm just whatever. Um, so yeah, I think my environment and the culture in my environment has placed more of an influence on my self identity. And um, you know for example, my popo, I spent uh, most of my summer breaks and everything with her and my uncle. And I basically saw her every day. I still do. And I live right next to my popo in Gungung, so right next to my mom's side of the family. So um, I just was exposed to a lot of Chinese culture and things of that nature. So I think that's what made me kind of inclined to learn Chinese in the first place. Now, I was enrolled into a Chinese language school at like 6 years old. Of course, I forgot everything. Um, and there was just like not really any pressure to learn Chinese. My popo, or my mom and my uncle don't speak it. So it was just kind of like no pressure on me to learn it. I just kind of felt like doing it. Just, I don't know, I just kind of grew up around that. And, you know, yeah, I think that's the reason why I wanted to learn Chinese in the first place, is because it's just kind of what I grew up around. I don't, yeah, I don't really like grade myself on the like the degree of ethnicity. Like, I didn't learn Chinese just because I'm like 65%, you know, the it's more of my like environment and stuff. So I also am what did my friend call it? I'm a mirror. So whatever energy you give me, I'm gonna give you. Which it's not great in all situations. And then you find yourself trying to fit in a lot, and you wonder, well, who am I actually when no one is around? Well, this, because I'm talking to myself, so I can only reflect myself. So yeah. I just, stop trying to like put myself into like categories and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm like, I'm my own person. I'm a whole bunch of ethnicities, and I don't necessarily have to look like the people around me, or, whatever. Like, when I went to Indiana, that was a huge shock. It was like mostly white people, and I was like, oh, well, I don't necessarily look like them. So, and I also looked different from the Chinese kids at the school in Indiana too. So I was like, oh well, this is like, okay, where do I fit here? And then, I've reached this very old age, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm just me, and pretty cool with that. Most people are taller than me, and I'm cool with that too. I know I struggled a little bit. Well, gender dysphoria was forefront of like all of my early teenage years. So height was just kind of like this secondary thing, and I still noticed it and still notice it, but I just come to accept that I'm just a small guy, and that's that. Well, that's the cards I've been dealt. It still feels really awkward trying to talk to cis men. Dude, I was talking to a cis guy today, and they did the dap and the dap and the hug in thing, and I didn't know how to do it. That was like the first time I did that, and that just reminded me that I am not a cis man at all. But whatever, man. I'm just me. I don't know. I tweak my life to what suits me best, and I'm also short because I had scoliosis. I had to wear a back brace for like 2.5 years. Also, not my fault. I think I don't have trauma, but I think that I've been through enough situations, enough like weird things that don't happen to a shit ton of people in my life where I can be like, yeah, I think that made me like a better person or a stronger person, and I think that helped me sort of discover my own uniqueness and to just be okay with myself. So, yeah,